there, Itro here. Today we're going to be doing a guide covering unlocking other game map sessions. How do we do this? Is there a priority? Should I be rushing to them? The first thing we need to be understanding is, ideally it is a good idea to unlock the other game map sessions and get out there and start exploring as soon as possible. The reason behind this is, if you can get out there before the other AI, you're going to have the choice of the islands and not be left one or two smaller islands. If you are struggling on keeping on top of having multiple islands, you can always just pick the specific ones you want. However, it's generally a good idea just to take as many islands as you can. You don't have to do everything on them straight away, just taking them and reserving them when you do need access to them. So let's have a look at when you can actually unlock the game maps. So when do the world maps become available to you? They don't come available in the same order that the DLCs were released. So the very first one that becomes available is the New World. That's part of the base part of the game. And that'll become available through an expedition when you hit 1 artisan. The next one that becomes available is at 100 artisans on any island. And that one is the Land of Lions, or Mbesa. The next one that becomes available is Cape Trelawney, and that is through the Sunken Treasures DLC. And that becomes available when you hit 700 artisans. And the last map is the Arctic. And that becomes available through the unlock of 1 engineer. And that is through the Passage DLC. So now you know when you can actually unlock them. When you get out there to the new islands, which islands should you be picking? You'll obviously want the widest abundance coverage of all resources that are available in the world map, so you can obtain and produce everything you can. However, the priorities will definitely be the tier 1 populations requirements. That'll be for the New World. You'll want to make sure you have an island that has access to plantains for the fried plantains. You'll probably also want an island that has corn, the base material that is needed for the Obero, the tier 2 population. In the Land of Lions, you'll want linseed and teff as a priority for your shepherds out there. And in the Passage, in the Arctic, you'll want access to things like coal and pemmican and whale abundance for the oil. So now that we know some of the base island materials that you want to make sure you have at least 1 island on, when should you be getting out there? The first one is going to be the New Worlds. You really need to get out to the New World as soon as you can, as your high tier populations for your artisans, engineers and investors all require input from production items from the New World, like the coffee, the cigar, the chocolate, the caoutchouc for the rubber. Everything is heavily dependent over here. So I definitely recommend practicing getting out to the New World as soon as you can. Take as many islands as you physically can, while managing the reputation from AI that you are expanding quicker than them. Some of the AI will like you when you are expanding quicker than them. Some of them will not. So you want to keep managing their reputation with you while you're continuing to expand. So now you've taken as many islands as you can in the New World, you're going to want to be starting to think about the Cape Mbesa and the Arctic Islands as well, while you're also taking up and building your population to get the extra influence points to start taking even more islands. Now, should you be taking as many islands as you can out in the other world maps? If you can, yes. However, just remember you can always get other islands back through either diplomacy, through shared purchase, or through conquest, as in going to war and destroying people. Now, the AI will actually start getting out to the world maps, apart from 1 world map. The Arctic is a safe map. The AI will not go to that world map until you've actually been there yourself. It's hard encoded into the game that the Arctic is safe. You're the first person to unlock the passage out to the Arctic in search of Sir John. So if you haven't been to the Arctic and you've got a gameplay that's 300 hours old, the AI will not be out there. Whereas if you have a 4-hour game save and you've only just been to the New World, the AI will probably be already going out to the Cape Trelawney and Embessa and starting to settle on those islands. They'll probably leave you 1, maybe 2 islands on each of the map if you don't go out there. However, they will be tiny and they will be pretty awful, to be fair. So you're better off just trying to get out there as soon as you can. However, there is a caveat to this. Let's go over to the Cape. So now we're in the Cape, and we have the large corner section of the map, which is always the same. And then we have the islands down in the south, which are randomly generated depending on your seed number. Now, it is locked behind the game code that you are the first person to take ownership of this corner map. So that means no matter how long you have the map unlocked, if you haven't taken ownership of this corner island, the AI cannot take it first. The AI can take it from you through either share purchase or through conquest by destroying you. However, they can't take it first. So we can actually make the most of this by, when we unlock the Cape, we can actually literally just take the islands in the south and just leave this top section up here untaken, and available. If you're struggling on influence points, I definitely recommend taking the smaller islands, and then later on, once you've got some extra influence points, take the corner map. The same principle can be said for the Land of Lions DLC's Embessa. Tambourine will be locked behind you taking ownership from Katima. So if you get out here and don't go over to Katima and take ownership of this island first and just leave it uncontested, the AI will not take it for you. They can only take it from you from share purchase and conquest. So you can go out here and again start taking all the other islands, and then take Tambourine later if you want. So now we're in the Arctic, and as I was saying before, this map is safe to leave until you choose to, as it is hard locked behind the game coding that you're the first person to unlock this map. However, after you've unlocked here and you're out here, the AI will start to come out and start taking any islands you leave. So there are 2 types of islands that you have. You have your land-based islands, and then you have your islands that have the gas on. And you'll need access to an airship to be able to fly over here to get access to the gas. Now, what you can actually do is, the islands that have the gas on them, you can literally leave them. If you take ownership of every single land-based island down here in the water, it will stop the AI coming out here and being able to take ownership of the gas-filled icebergs over here, because you need access to a land to build an aircraft hangar to be able to make the airships to fly out there. So you can literally just take every single island down here, not do anything on them, and just leave it. They can't take ownership of these peninsulas up here if they have no land-based production buildings to make the airships to get out there. That's an easy way that you can just reserve the gas from the AI so they can't make airships. So, in conclusion, yes, I do think you should be getting out to the other maps as soon as you can. However, the priority for me would be to start practicing getting to the New World as quickly as you can, as you'll need a lot of islands out here to fulfill the needs of your population of higher tier people. I would definitely recommend getting out to the Cape as soon as you can. However, you only need to really prioritize getting the best islands down in the south. The corner map can be left until later. And I would also recommend getting out to Embessa as soon as you can and start taking as many of the larger islands that have the best resources on them. Again, you can leave the corner map and Tambourine and Embessa until later, and the Arctic is safe to take at your leisure. When you do take it, make sure you take all the southern islands so the AI cannot take any airships and take any of the gas ice peninsulas. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If Do appreciate any likes and subscriptions onto the video and the channel, and comment down below if there's any other guide you'd like me to cover off next. Take care and catch you on the next one.